Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Elizabeth and I'm coming to you from Sedona, Arizona, and this is going to be the August reading for Pisces. Hello Pisces, how are you? This is good for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node of the Moon. These are general readings, so they won't resonate for everyone. Please use your own highest intuition and guidance and take what resonates and feel free to leave the rest. I'm available for personal readings, so if you'd like to book a session, please send me a message. We can do that via phone or video chat. And if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, just give me a follow. I'm at Elizabeth Light Tarot. Send me a message and I will follow you back. Okay, Pisces, so we are in the month of August and we are moving through the Lionsgate portal, and we just kind of reached the culmination of that portal. So the energies have been really heightened and amplified and intense and beautiful. And obviously there's so much going on in the world. You are a Pisces, so you're the eldest of the water signs, the last sign in the zodiac. You are the collective. You are the subconscious of the collective. You feel everything so deeply, Pisces. So really going to take great care with this reading for you today. And I welcome you. And this is a co-creation between all of us here. So I'm so happy to have you. And let's get started. So I think we're going to start with an Angels of Atlantis card. Get you an angel card, an energy that is here with you for the month, an energy that has been with you your whole life, one that you're already working with, or one that really wants you to know that he or she is with you. So these are the archangels, and in this deck they come in as beautiful orbs of light rather than winged ones with faces and arms, more, you know, human-like. These are orbs of light, which is how many people actually do see angels, as orbs of light, beings of light, and that they are. And as we are also beings of light, that is why the angels are attracted to us and we are attracted to them. So I call in the divine with love and light, and I call in the archangels at the four corners of the world. I call in the elements, earth, air, water, fire, spirit, and ether to join us here today for this reading for my dear Pisces. What is the energy that wants to come in for Pisces? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. And for cross watchers as well, I welcome you as well. One more time. Message for Pisces, please. This is so crazy. This came in for Aquarius. Metatron is really, really here. Wisdom. I can't believe it. I mean, that was like several days ago that I did that reading for, I believe it was Aquarius. Metatron, the energy of Archangel Metatron, the scribe of God, the supernal teacher. He is a teacher, and he is he's here for the ascension, really. And for all of you who resonate with, you know, being on a path of ascension, seeing and experiencing the, you know, raising of the consciousness of humanity and of the planet and the solar system even, you know, Metatron is a guide for you. And he brings in the sacred geometry, particularly the Metatron's cube, the Merkaba, which is itself a tool for healing and a vehicle for ascension. And he's with you, bringing in this divine wisdom and this diamond light. The orb that he's coming in on is the diamond light, which is purifying and activating, and it's just the highest vibration of transcendence, really. So the Sphinx coming in as a nod to Lionsgate. The Sphinx, you know, the pyramids at Giza, and the constellation of, you know, of where Sirius, the star system of Sirius A, B, and C, you know, it is about Lionsgate here. It's so interesting that this energy is just, I'm really taken back. So this is speaking about like tapping into your divine wisdom, that you've been doing this for lifetimes. It's a going within. the Sphinx is all about, you know, the riddle of the Sphinx and unraveling the mysteries of the universe, and that energy is with you. Metatron, if you are someone who is considers yourself a twin flame, then this energy of Metatron also supports the twin flame energy. You know, Metatron comes in with the Akashic records, so it's the wisdom of everything that ever was, ever and ever will be. It's past lives, it's your soul's purpose. You know, he can really help you with all of that. And the energy of Metatron is also really linked into non-duality as well, holding the space of peace and unity, and like I said, an ascension. That is an ascension energy. So we're going to put Metatron here. I did pull out the Archangel Michael candle for everyone today, and so Michael will be here with Archangel Metatron, and they do work hand in hand, of course. So it's really beautiful, but this is about your own divine wisdom, Pisces, and really tapping into that. Beautiful. Okay, so, and at the bottom of the deck was Archangel Uriel, and it's asking for you to trust. And there's that mountain there, you know, and the mountains can symbolize change and obstacles and, you know, moving mountains. So Archangel Uriel just coming in to tell you to trust the process that you're going through right now. And next, I think we'll do a card from the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray, and see what energy from the Angels and Ancestors wants to come out for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node, Pisces. And also, we will get a card for you from your ruling planet of Neptune, which I've really been enjoying doing for my readings, is pulling a card from your ruling planet and seeing like what your planet wants to say to you. And Neptune is moving through Pisces. It's a several year transition, I believe, because Neptune, you know, is way out there and it moves very slowly around the sun. So when it comes back home, you know, that Pisces is where it is at home, and it's most activated and potent there. And it is moving retrograde through Pisces. So we will also pull a card from your ruling planet of Neptune. But right now, let's get you an Angels and Ancestors card and just see what energy, what angel, what ancestor, what energy is here to support you this month. Pisces. The Eagle, see from a higher perspective. Amazing, Pisces. Amazing. How fierce is that? See from a higher perspective. That's that divine wisdom. Eagle, I mean, does it get any more sacred than a bald eagle? Or just eagle spirit in general, you know? And all of this blue, so it is like activating, you know, the throat chakra, the third eye, animals of the air, you know, speaking to communication, our thoughts, beliefs, ideas, communication with this sort of blue and kind of like deep blue, indigo, third eye chakra, throat chakra here, but seeing from a higher perspective. So perhaps you've really been tapping into some of this like inner wisdom and being able to see things from a higher perspective, especially with all of the polarization and the, you know, this incredible time that we're living in. And at the bottom of the deck is the energy of winter, which is your season, Pisces, right? So it's just a nod to your own season. Take care of your needs, wolf spirit. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, Pisces. Okay, and let's get you one or two cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle before we get into the tarot reading. One more time. Okay, what are the messages for Pisces? by the book. 11, Metatron. Metatron is definitely with you. I love this, and imagine. And at the bottom of the deck is Orphaned, and I forget where Orphaned had come out for the month of August. Libra. Okay, Libra had gotten Orphaned as well. This is at the bottom of your deck. So like an underlying energy of perhaps grieving a loss, feeling as though you've lost a part of your tribe, lost some support as you're gaining this wisdom and this higher perspective. A lot of things can fall away. People can fall away, situations can fall away. And so like this could have been like a past energy or sort of like a shadow energy of what you've been moving through. Just about, it's a sense of feeling alone, not knowing where you fit in, not knowing where your tribe is. But that, I love this by the book with this sort of like, you see this pack of elephants. And elephants, and number 11, another link to Metatron. Metatron's energy is really with you. The energy of Metatron really wants to help you see the higher perspective, not see everything as black and white, good or bad, you know, really come from a place of the middle way, I want to say. I mean, the Imagine card is just amazing. First and foremost, it's like anything is possible. And let's just talk about the Imagine card quickly. It doesn't even have a number. Oh, it does. You just couldn't even see it amidst this beautiful energy here. A 20 breaking down to a 2. So it is a choice. 2, it's a choice. What can you imagine, you know? This, again, more of this blue energy, this communication, are also around our thoughts and our ideas and how we're communicating them and how we're communicating with other people. The energy of Pisces is so interesting to me because you're a water sign, but you're not just the ocean. You're not just the river or the lake or the stream. You're also vapor. You're vapor, you're clouds, you're the whole spectrum of water and the entire cycle of water as water moves through the earth and above the earth, you know, in our atmosphere. So it's the vapor in the sky, in the air, that forms into cloud, that then becomes rain, that falls into the ocean and the lakes and the rivers, and the water from the river moving into the sea. And, you know, it's the whole process of water, the water that's inside of us, and how it can be, you know, illusory, like a cloud, the way that clouds change form. And that's the energy of Pisces, 12th house, the subconscious, the collective. It's just so deep, and it almost can't even be defined, and that's you, Pisces. And so it is asking you to tap into your imagination, and your ruling planet Neptune rules dreams, visions, all of that. So it's speaking to like being at home within your own energy, and what can you imagine? The elephant energy of blessings and good luck, but the elephants have, you know, they're such an exquisite animal with the memory that they carry. If you meet an elephant and you bond with it and you go back 40 years later, it will remember you. They grieve losses deeply. When one of their family members dies, they grieve it. They don't forget their family. No one gets left behind here. You see that? No one gets left behind. They're on a journey, this family. They're going on a journey together. This is about family, tribe, you know, feeling like you may have lost some people along the way. But it's really asking you to tap into what's possible, Pisces. Imagine the possibilities. Imagine, what can you dream up? Neptune rules the dream state. So with Neptune and Pisces, especially being retrograde, it is a time where collectively, Pisces, the collective, we can tap into visions and dreams through meditation, through dream work during sleep, just through being in a quiet, contemplative state, that anything is possible. What ideas are you having, and then being able to communicate them. So we'll go back to these as we move into the tarot portion. And then the thinker, 44, another angel number coming out, 11 and 44. Let's get into the tarot, and then, we'll definitely touch on these a little bit more as we go into the reading. Okay, Pisces, so let's get into it, shall we? I hope this is resonating for some of you. Yeah. And also with the by the book and imagine, it's like they're kind of opposites in a sense where, if you're doing everything by the book, then it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for imagination, right? And I think it's asking you to, to step outside of that a little bit, doing things by the book. If you've really been feeling some sense of restrictions, or that you have to kind of like fit everything into a specific kind of box, that you think outside of that it doesn't have to be by the book, okay? You're allowed to go into that dreamscape and that imagination, and the part of water that is etheric, the part of water that is vapor and that changes. You ever watch the clouds? I'm sure you have. Okay, so let's do a 6-card spread today, and then we'll get clarifiers if we need them. So what are the messages for my dear Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node of the Moon, and cross watchers for the rest of the month of August, and also regarding this Lionsgate portal? What are the messages for my dear Pisces? All right, Pisces, so from the bottom of the deck, your underlying energy is the Emperor. This Emperor has just been around all month, let me tell you. And we'll just clarify that with the Page of Voices. And the Page of Voices has been around as well. These are two energies that are very active this month. It's so interesting. Okay, and at the heart of your reading from the top of the deck is the Five of Voices coming in. That kind of explains the Page of Voices. Past your foundation is the Empress. That's beautiful. In the present, we have the Sun. Present energy, Pisces. That's beautiful. And the future energy is the Seven of Wands, or Seven of Inspiration. That came out as the advice for Sagittarius. And the advice is the Nine of Cups, or Nine of Emotions. I love that the advice is, Cups energy, water, your element. I love that that's coming in as the advice. Okay, Pisces, let me feel into this for a moment and bring the table a little bit closer. I want to try to get you so that you can, kind of see some of these. So first and foremost, this energy of the Emperor has really been very present in the month of August. It's a card of Aries, but since we're in fire energy right now, and we also have Chiron in Aries, and Mars is in Aries right now. So it makes a lot of sense that the Emperor is coming out this month. This is where, this is the Divine Masculine. This is the King of all kings. In this deck, it's a female, and she's in her power. This is about being in your own authority, being in your power, being the master of your domain. Success, wealth, stability, security, all of that. Now, it's coming out with this little Page of Voices here who, is a student, and the pages are a young energy. It's the messenger. She's got a whole new belief system. So it's interesting that we were talking about all of this throat chakra and air energy, right? All of this air energy that's coming in for you with the eagle. And imagine we're seeing the sky. There's a nod to the sky here and air signs. And we have this page of voices with the emperor. So if you are someone who is a father, or this could even represent a father figure for you, a very, very strong placement of a father figure in your life right now. But I feel like this is you. And oh, I just want to point out that we have a perfect match here, the emperor and the empress, pastor foundation, underlying energy. So this could actually be a beautiful twin flame, soulmate, love reading for some of you Pisces. So we'll touch on that just to show you that real quick. But it seems like this emperor has a new truth. It's not the emperor has new clothes or no clothes. The emperor has a new truth this month. You have a new truth. And it is around a higher perspective and divine wisdom. It is around like something with your imagination, something with messages from the higher realms. And it's a change of thinking for you, really. A way of doing things, a way of running your business, a way of moving through your life, a way of if you are a boss, it's a way of dealing with your business, like your company, your employees, okay? So the pastor foundation, the empress, and that's where you were putting the love into your empire. You were putting the love into your home. You were putting the love into the relationship. You were growing something. That's your pastor foundation. It's such a strong energy, your underlying and your pastor foundation. I mean, this is incredible. It's really incredible, Pisces. Look at these two. The Empress, like you were realizing in your past that what you wanted to create was something that was a part of your divine blueprint. And she's been coming out a lot too. This Emperor, Empress energy, the mother and the father, really. Some of you could, your partner could be pregnant right now. Or it could be you that's pregnant right now, if this is a pastor foundation, or trying to get pregnant, birthing something anyway. But that you were, really focused on the love, growth, expansion. This is Venus energy, so Taurus energy, and Aries. So you could be dealing with an Aries, you could be dealing with a Taurus. I see Leo here, and I see Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So there's a harsh energy here though, and that's the Five of Voices. And it's between this Emperor and this Empress. It's between them. So it's between like, it's at the heart of the reading. So this is like kind of what the whole reading is revolving around. And this could be where this orphaned energy is coming out. Now, the Five of Voices, fives are the agents of chaos, right? But they bring about change. So when it's happening, it feels uncomfortable, chaotic. This is Swords energy, thoughts, beliefs, ideas. This is more of that air energy, okay? And like I said, it seems like you have a whole new kind of way of thinking. But at the heart of the reading, it's like you are still having to grapple with someone else, okay? Because this definitely can be other people. Who it's just a really harsh energy. These are harsh words. This is fighting. This is where you have been like attacked verbally by someone. This is someone needing to win at all costs. It's the fight for the sake of just winning. It's the ego. This is where this is a defense mechanism. This is a pattern that someone learns like in childhood. And if it's you, that's fine too. We have to be accountable for where we're at in our own growth. It is a shadowy energy to have at the heart of your reading. We're going to get clarifiers. And when it happens, it can take time to recover from this. This is someone who betrays us, but it's not like the Seven of Swords where they're stealing from us. It's not the Ten of Swords where we've got all 10 swords now and it's total betrayal. It's a really immature energy, and like I said, it can just be a lot of harsh words, but it can be where it's like a pattern with this person or with yourself. So it's a defense mechanism. Like I said, if we see into it, you know, it's a cry for help, it's a cry for love, really. And it can, on a much lower vibration, this is the narcissist, you know, this is someone gaslighting you, that kind of thing. But really it's a cry for love, and it's sort of like where we've learned to act in a certain way to defend ourselves. So if someone's feeling attacked or unworthy, it's a sense of unworthiness and wounding within the mind, because it's a mental energy, that they will strike back and kind of in a way that's nasty and it's harsh. So that energy is there, right? What I love about this card is that it is like the two sides, you know, it has that Gemini energy to it, the duality, because this is someone that you loved, that you cared about, that you still do, but there's an olive branch there. So it's like there's an opportunity for peace. And I feel like with you, you're really going to be coming from a higher perspective, like really trying to gain a higher perspective, really looking towards having a divine wisdom, you know, really having to go deep within your own mastery to deal with this. If it's you, it's a pattern that you're working through and that you want to move beyond. And it can be both, because a lot of times, most of the time, when this is happening to us in a relationship, it is a reflection of something within us. Not that it's exactly the same, but that it's just a part of us. It's a shadowy part of us as well that's coming up to the surface. You know, sometimes it's just to see like how we're going to handle it. It's like a test. And other times it's just showing us a part of ourselves that has like sort of attracted that energy, that has been a point of attraction to that energy. And like I said, if you're watching this and you're like, yes, I dealt with a person who was, you know, displaying narcissistic behaviors. This was a relationship that it had been a pattern inside of the relationship for a long time, and I'm finally putting an end to it. I'm moving on from it, you know, then that's great. But if it's something where you're trying to figure out how to navigate what this relationship is going to look like, how to resolve this pattern, how to deal with this person, or how to deal with these own patterns within yourself, then, you know, we'll look into that more as well. Because the present energy is the sun. Joy, blessings, it's a breakthrough. It's where there's clarity. It's where, you know, you're in your power. There's abundance here. You know, you can see this person here, she's just in a state of Zen. She's in alignment, she's meditating, you know, she's happy, she's joyful. Like I said, there's so much abundance here. The Emperor. But it is like about, you know, having a new truth. Now, this Page of Voices could be connected to the Five of Voices, and this could be someone in your life, you know, that's kind of like a thorn in your side, so to speak. You know, bringing a lower energy, and it's a less mature energy. You're coming up as an Emperor. But I do feel like this Emperor this Page of Voices, Page of Swords, is an aspect of you that has a new truth, and that is gaining a new perspective about something. Okay, so let's get a clarifier to start for the Five of Voices. Let's see, why is this Five of Voices at the heart of your reading? And then we'll clarify the Empress as a past energy. Why is the Five of Voices at the heart of your reading, Pisces? The Three of Voices, there was a betrayal of some kind or a hurt. Three of Swords, heartbreak. Bottom of the deck, the Ten of Cups. So this is around someone or something that you really, really loved, and you're really having to deal with this right now. One more card for the Five of Swords with the Three of Swords. There's tears here, Pisces. Look, there's tears. You see that? It's like the cosmos are crying with you over this. It feels like it was an important relationship, business partnership, family member. There's tears here, but there's a light beyond this door. And I'm feeling like this is that Lionsgate energy. Here we have the door. She needs to just get up and walk away and leave it behind. But like, it's like your universe is crying with you a bit. The tears in the sky. One more card for the Three of Voices, Five of Voices. Three of Swords, Five of Swords. One more card, please. The Tower. Something happened, Pisces, and it was sudden. It was sudden. I feel like it freed you from this, though. The lightning, it was lightning fast. It came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. It brought you clarity, though. It's bringing you a new truth. This whole situation, whether this was in love, business, family, it happened fast. You got a new truth. There's this white owl again. Now you've, oh, sorry, that was another reading that I did. There was a white owl, but the white owl is important today. The white owl is definitely important today because that was another reading that I did today, and the white owl was there. Totally different deck, totally different card. You know, there is this sense of liberating your mind. That's why this Page of Voices is there, Page of Swords. Like, this energy that you moved through was really heavy. It was a heavy, heavy energy. It hurt. It was bringing up your own shadow even. Like, not that you struck out at someone else verbally, but that you may have just been tempted to. There was like a lot of temptation because the Tower frees us from the devil. You know, the devil energy, the being stuck, the fears and doubts, it's addiction. It's, again, those patterns of behavior. It's the shadow. It's the things, you know, that keep us bound. But there is a new clarity around all of this. That's the Page of Voices coming in. There's a new clarity around all of this. Let's get a card for the Pastor Foundation, the Empress. Two of Materials. We'll get a few more for the Empress. You did have to sort of like make a choice. Make a choice. Like, you were definitely at a choice point with this person, with this situation, like between the light and the dark. Again, I'm just feeling like this duality here between the light and the dark. Choosing the light or choosing the dark. Which way are you going to go with this situation, with this person? It was something that you really loved, though, and it put a lot of time and effort into it, and there was growth around it. There was growth around it. It helped you grow. You built something. You grew something. You nurtured something. But it became like a juggling act. It became a juggling act where it was where you were having to balance it all. It was a lot to handle for you. One more for this Empress. It's even you just choosing between the high vibe and the low vibe, you know, putting one of them down for good. Putting one of them down for good. There's this light and shadow here, you know, because the sun is in your present, and that is the light. And then, you know, with the Three of Swords and the Five of Swords and the Tower, well, the Three of Swords and the Five of Swords, that's the shadow. The Tower comes in to free us from that, like I said. So there is this real element of duality happening here. And one more for the Two of Coins, please, with the Empress. Knight of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so if this is about a person, which I'm feeling like it is, it was someone who just kind of like, they weren't reliable, and they just sort of took off, I want to say. They left. On to the next thing. Something bigger or better. They just took off. Knight of Wands in reverse. Like, the Knight of Wands is card of Sag. Could be dealing with Sagittarius. And in its upright, you know, it is all about passion and adventure, and it's very fast moving. And the Knight of Wands goes where the passion is. It goes where the fun is. It wants to have a good time. It's freedom loving. And it can be a really fun energy, you know. It's exploration and travel, and chasing after passions and dreams. But in the reverse, it's someone who potentially really can let us down. This can be the player energy even, you know, if you were in a committed relationship. Three of Swords, you know, this for some of you, not all of you, this could have been someone, you know, finding out that someone had cheated on you, had, you know, had a relationship with somebody else, and it did not end well. It did not end well. This is, you know, like a narcissistic behavior here. But a Tower came in, and there was a new truth around it. There was a new truth around it. So for some of you, this was definitely a relationship, and you were left to make a decision, and you dropped it. I'm feeling like if this is a relationship, you dropped it. Now, if this was like a business partnership, you know, then it's almost like a similar energy, I want to say, you know, where maybe you had someone in business just leave you high and dry. And again, with this Empress and the Emperor, it was, you took this very seriously, Pisces. This meant a lot to you. You really nurtured this. You loved this. You put time and effort into it, even to the point where you were like doing all the work. You were juggling all of it just to keep it standing. You were balancing it. And let's get a card, let's get some clarifiers for the Sun card and just see, how, you know, what happened. That, I mean, it just could have been like, this was a huge weight off your shoulders, like, because you have this new truth, you know, that you realize that this was actually a very big weight off of your shoulders. You're able to see it from a different perspective now. A higher perspective, and you've got Metatron with this divine wisdom. It's like Six of Coins. Things feel more equal in your life now. Things feel more balanced in your life. You could have really given a lot, like Six of Coins, like you could have been the one kind of like giving more to this situation, and you weren't getting the return back. And so now you're feeling like things are harmonious. Things are harmonious. This feels very specific. This is not going to resonate for everyone, you know, but it was a process because you did feel orphaned to some degree. You felt orphaned. This was part of your tribe. This person was part of your tribe. This situation was part of your tribe, Pisces. But things are coming into balance. If this is not about a relationship and this is like just something else in your life, then I'm gonna say the other story that I'm getting is that Pisces, you decided to really dedicate yourself to the work that you're doing, to the life that you're living. You kind of put down this Knight of Wands reversed, where you're committing fully to your domain, your castle, your work, your family. That in the past, maybe you were the one that had a lot of self-sabotaging behaviors, a lot of whatever that looked like for you, your own shadow. You were breaking people's hearts in some way, shape, or form. And you decided to really let go of that and commit, like make a decision to really commit and be this empress, right? The emperor and the empress, to really embody the nurturing of the people around you, the things that you love. Really, really step into your power and commit to it, because there was some kind of a aha moment. And that could have been February, March, when all this stuff started happening in early 2020. That could have been the tower moment. Like, I gotta really, I gotta get my life back on track, you know, because look at what's happening in the world. And that was your clarity, your aha moment, to where you were like, I am going to put down this Knight of Wands reversed and do the shadow work, and, you know, and kind of like work through my own feelings of abandonment, work through my own shadow, work through where I haven't felt worthy. And you did a lot of work, and that was like I said, your new truth, and stepping into a place of like authority. And now you're reaping the rewards of that. So that's the other story that I'm getting, is that some of you are really reaping the rewards of all of the shadow work that you've been doing. And what I love about, you know, tarot and kind of like channeling these messages is that if I'm, you know, if one of you is like, oh, I really resonate with that, you know, with that, the story that you're telling about someone just up and leaving an important relationship, a love relationship, a business partnership, and then others of you are like, no, I was the one doing the shadow work, and I was the one stepping into my divinity and my, you know, power, and really committing to my life. You both arrive at the same point, and that's the timeline convergence, and that's where we're all connected. So let's get into the present, because you're all in, you know, you're all in the same timeline now, where it's bright and where there's reciprocity, there's equal give and take, and there's a sense of harmony, and there's abundance, and there's joy, and you're happy. I love it. Okay, so the future energy is coming up as the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands is a really interesting energy. It came up in the Sagittarius reading as their advice. And it really is talking about, in the future, okay, this is what I want to say. When you are on this high, when you are in this space of abundance and joy and, you know, and just like things are going really well for you in love, in business, in career, in your family, that there are other people that may, you know, not like that. They don't want to see you win. And it's kind of like the darkness creeping back in, and you're pushing it back to reveal the light. That's a future energy. This happens after the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of Leo. We're in Leo season, and the Six of Wands is where it's a celebration, where we are like sort of like being paraded through the street and everyone's cheering for us. It's a card of victory. It's where, you know, we feel a sense of pride about our accomplishments. We're kind of like coming in from the battle, right, of the Five of Wands, and in the Six of Wands, we've, you know, we've just come into a place of success and victory. And when that happens, there's going to be some resistance sometimes, whether it's external from other people, like, again, having, you know, it's coming out under the 5 of voices. So this could be like a jealousy around that, a competitiveness around that, you know, haters are going to hate, and you having to push that back. So it's kind of like a little warning as a future energy. And it can also be you too, Pisces, just kind of like knowing that you are in this place of power, divine wisdom, unconditional love for your brothers and sisters around you, because I don't see you holding a grudge here. Whatever happened, if it was someone else, I don't see you holding a grudge. I see you being in a place of just perfect power, unconditional love, a spiritual authority, abundance, mastery, all of that, the divine father, the divine mother. And so you're not holding a grudge. But with regards to, like, if you're going to need to fight in the future to keep this energy, like, you're going to have to fight to keep it because other people may want to come in and sabotage you. 5 of Swords can be people trying to sabotage your happiness, your success. That you have the upper hand. You've got the strength. You've got the sun behind you. Look, you've literally got the sun behind you, next to you, around you, that you have the upper hand, you know, and to some degree, you might, you know, just be like, whatever, I don't even need to fight this. You know I've already won. And it's not about, you know, winning for the sake of winning. It's just about, it goes back to the 6, you want harmony. You want things to be equal. You want harmony. You want peace, higher perspective, divine wisdom. So this future energy, I'm not really too worried about it for you, but it is sort of like, you know, just almost like a little warning for you, just something to be aware of, that you may, you know, you're going to come up against some resistance. It's only natural. The contrast is how we grow. You know, if everything's perfect all the time, there's no soul growth there. The 7 is also the spiritual test. It's the spiritual challenge. So it comes in for our soul's growth. So just know, you know, that you might be up against some forces, Virgo season, you know, Libra season going into fall, that there may be some challenges that are going to come at you, you know, and you'll handle it. Bottom of the deck was the Queen of Swords. Yeah. Queen of Swords coming in, you know. There could be someone trying to cut you down a little bit. Let's get a clarifier for the 7 of Wands, 7 of Inspiration. But that you really do have the upper hand here, you know. You're going to be hard to get at. That's what I want to say, Pisces, because you are in this place of power. You're going to be hard to get at. And if you are someone who really just has been moving through the shadow of yourself and doing a lot of deep inner work on your own ego, on your past patterns, how you've treated people in the past, how people have treated you and how you've reacted, and this whole back and forth, you betraying someone, someone betraying you, it goes on and on and on and on and on. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? If you are someone who has been doing all of that work, then this is telling you, that, you know, that if it resurfaces again, it's okay. You're gonna be strong. Look at how strong she is there, pushing back that veil, I wanna say, that veil of shadow. She's strong. She's able to hold that back. So it is about, like, if you're projecting into the future, a lot of times these future energies come out not as an oracle, not as a prediction, but as more of what you may be projecting into your own future. So if you're like kind of feeling, you know, just a little bit weary or a little bit afraid of, you know, what if the shadow comes back? I've been working so hard, and, you know, this whole process, nothing is linear here. You know, our life isn't woven in a linear fashion. We return to things all the time. We're triggered, you know, by things so that we can let it come up again and do a little bit more work on it. So the future energy really is just about like, if that's something that you are kind of like, you know, just thinking about or worried about, the triggers coming up just because of the times that we're living in. Justice coming up to clarify that. Just because of the times that we're living in, you know, it's crazy. It is crazy out there. We are undergoing such massive shifts during this whole ascension, evolution of human consciousness. The just changing of every paradigm on earth is shifting right now. Every institution is changing. It's crumbling so that it can be rebuilt again. So don't think that you're not going to be processing all of this internally as well. We all are. Justice. Yeah, here's Metatron coming in for you again. I'm going to get one more card. Like, future energy of justice. Like, don't worry. You're going to stay balanced. We've got 2 cards of balance. We've got 2 11s coming out. There's wow. This, and if this is like a twin flame reading, this person really may be working it out within themselves too, and potentially coming back, I want to say. One more card for the future energy, please. I love that justice is coming out for you. 6 of Voices. Okay, so the Justice card coming out to clarify the 7 of Wands, where it's telling you, you know, don't worry, like, you are going to stay balanced within your own light and shadow. And your light you're cracked open, Pisces. You are revealing your own light now to the world. The light is being downloaded into you on a daily basis. And there's bigger forces at play here. There are bigger forces at play here. Like, I just keep bringing this back to Metatron being with you. 11. And we're going to call this 11 because Metatron is the 1111. There's your 1111 right there. There's Metatron. You know, Metatron helps us to see how the light is served by the shadow, how our own light is served by it, how the darkness is essentially in service to the light. It really is. And so regarding this, you know, the sort of like, you know, are you going to have to keep fighting for this? This came up for Sag. Are you going to have to keep fighting for this? Are you going to have to keep being a warrior to fight for this light? Maybe a little bit, you know, but you can handle it, and the scales will always balance. That's the law of nature. That's the law of the universe, is that everything always comes back into perfect balance. Justice. Justice will be served. You may be serving justice to someone else, and that may be in the form of a boundary. I'm feeling like this 6 of Voices is you setting a boundary. Like, this comes after the 5 of Voices, right? Where it's like, I'm moving on to less troubled waters. I'm moving away from this energy of the 3 of Voices and the 5 of Voices, right? And then the Tower, and then the 6 of Voices. I've moved away from it. My mind is harmonious now. I've gotten my thoughts, beliefs, ideas rebalanced. And now I can communicate that. Swords, communication. So it's like you're balancing to where you're able to set boundaries. You're gonna have better boundaries, Pisces. You're gonna have better boundaries. If this is someone that you have children with, you know, and let's say there was a divorce, or there is a divorce happening with justice, legal matters, you know, it's going to be fair for everyone, and there'll be a sense of victory for all involved. It'll be fair for everyone. That doesn't necessarily mean equal, though. Fair can sometimes mean, like, you know, you're the one who put in more work, so you're going to get a little bit more, maybe. It doesn't always have to be 50-50 with this Justice card. but that you're gonna have better boundaries. So if this is someone coming back, or if this is you working out a partnership, working out the relationship, because I just keep going back to this match of the Emperor and the Empress, where this is a divine union, you know, it was fated. That if you are going to seek a resolution around it, that you're going to have better boundaries, okay? And it's not going to be the same anymore. It's going to be different because of your new truth. Ace of Voices, Page of Voices. You have a new truth. You have a higher perspective. You're seeing how in the present, everything feels so light. So you're not going to go back to the way that it was. It's going to be different. Now your advice is the Nine of Cups. So this is getting into the water energy, because there's been no water energy in this reading. Where's the water, Pisces? Where is your water? There's so much sky here. You know, there's so much mental energy. There's a lot of communication happening here. This is a throat chakra activation. This reading, I hope, will be activating your truth and your throat chakra and your fire. And it is about the things in the physical, in real time. It's about your money, your self-worth, your home, your business, your family, your tribe. You don't need to feel this orphaned thing again. I feel like this is part of this Lion's Gate of leaving that behind. So here's your cups. It's the advice. Interesting, right? It's the advice. And it's the Nine of Cups. So this is where I love her. She's in a meditative, you know, lotus position in the water. And there's like these beautiful diamond crystals around her. There's the genie in the bottle down there. Make your wish. Wish is coming true. The genie in the bottle. And she's just sort of floating. She's not even down on the ocean floor. And on the ocean floor is like a sacred site, I want to say. It's lost lands. This is your emotional intelligence going back to different lifetimes. Divine wisdom. This is your Lion's Gate, Atlantean, ancient Egyptian, Lemurian energy, past lives. This is your emotional intelligence. This is your emotional excellence. This is where you have been through all of the cups. You've had the Ace. You've had the 10 even, because again, you know, this isn't a linear journey, and I'm feeling this sense of past lives here. So you've had the 4 of Cups, you've had the 5 of Cups, where it was like just grief and loss, and you know, and you've had the 3 of Cups where you were celebrating, and the 8 of Cups where you've had to walk away from things that you loved. The 9 Cups coming in to just say, like, dream big first and foremost, dream big. You know, anything that you want is possible. Imagine the possibilities inside of this relationship, inside new relationships, current ones, existing ones, but it is telling you to come from a place of emotional excellence. Let's get a couple of clarifiers, and then I want to pull you a couple of special cards. So let's get you the advice, clarifiers for this 9 of Cups, please. For my dear Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter. This one, it didn't want to go in, so it wants to come out. Beautiful. Knight of Cups. Beautiful. More cups coming out for the cups. Okay, it's perfect. Yeah, it is. Now, I'm just trying to see if there were any other. Yeah, okay. So we did have that Knight of Wands in reverse. And now coming in to like clarify that Knight of Wands in reverse. That reverse Knight of Wands is the Knight of Cups upright. This is the only reversal that we had in the whole reading. And I don't even think I have a lot of reversals in this deck right now, to be honest. So it's interesting that it was important that this Knight of Wands came up reversed. this really was an energy. This is, like I said, I just want to go back to this Knight of Wands really quick from the foundation, because this energy, I really feel like it took you by surprise because of the Tower, and it let you down. Like, and I know that people are behaving in ways that seem out of character right now. Like, people aren't reliable right now. And I was just having this conversation with a friend yesterday about how we're really seeing how people are just not necessarily reliable right now. We're seeing the people who really are. They're standing out. They're coming out as like real leaders right now, the people who can stay centered and reliable. But even in your own life, like, you may not be able to commit to everything fully right now because everything's so uncertain. And so I think that this energy, this Knight of Wands, really took you by surprise if it was another person who just took off, or who, you know, was just really callous with your feelings and, you know, all of that. We already talked about all of that. So in any event, this could be that person, you know, coming back as a Knight of Cups, where now, you know, they've got their heart on and they're coming in like a knight in shining armor, and they're saying all the right things, and they're, you know, kind of putting on a big show, and they really want to make amends with you. And that's sort of like, maybe deep down, that's your wish. You know, it's like, a Page of Cups usually is the one who apologizes, but I'm feeling a sense of apology coming from this Knight of Cups. Now, if it's not that person, then it really is you just charging forward, you know, heart on, chasing after the dream and things that are from your heart space. All of this mental energy, all of this air energy is balanced here by your heart. And that's the advice. First and foremost is like, you know, Pisces, don't forget about your heart. If there's any heart healing that needs to happen around all this energy that you've been moving through, it's Leo season. Let the light in, let it support you, get into your heart space. I'm also feeling like if you live near the water, go get in the water, you know, get into your element and just really, really enjoy it while we're still, well, it's not summer for everyone. So if you're watching this from the Southern Hemisphere, I welcome you, first of all, so happy to have you. And also just, you know, maybe take baths or go to a hot spring. Get into your element, Pisces, get into the water, connect with the heart space. I love that this night, you know, he has like the sort of Fibonacci sequence behind him, this beautiful white knight, white horse. And it is showing, you know, how everything is really cyclical. And it's telling me what goes around comes around, first and foremost. But also, and that maybe is the higher perspective, just knowing that what goes around comes around, that betrayals, anyone who may have betrayed you or let you down, you know, that it's going to bring around new energy that's going to surprise you. You know, Sun, Six of Pentacles, I think you're seeing that already. And if you're not, there's justice in the future where you're going to see, you know, how the scales balance, how it's balanced by the universe. Metatron, that balancing energy, like this spiral here, the Fibonacci sequence. Like I said, what goes around comes around. That the things that that you've been betrayed by or hurt by or let down by, that it all comes back around. It doesn't mean bad things should happen to them. I don't want to hold that intention. You know, it means that you that the universe takes care of you when you are in your heart, when you're in a higher perspective, when you are in this space of meditation and dreaming the impossible dreams, right? Beautiful. That's that genie in the bottle there. Make a wish. Make a wish, Pisces. Make 10 wishes. Make 9 wishes. However many you want, make your wishes. Right? Okay. I hope this resonated for some of you. If you're still with me, thank you so much. Let's just get a quick, very, very quick Power of Surrender card to see what you can surrender, you know, what you can surrender. What's the most surrender to or surrender? Where this Lion's Gate is still open, right? And what you can leave behind. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. What can my dear Pisces surrender or surrender to this month and beyond? One card, please. Okay. Surrender to joy. And that is being in the present moment. And the present moment is where there's harmony and light and abundance and joy. Like, and if you, I'm just gonna say this, if you're not here yet, this is Spirit's way of validating you to you that it's coming, okay? And it's just saying surrender to joy. Surrender to the joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling. During both the hard times and easy times, keep surrendering to more joy, more love, more light, more joy. This is the Fool. Jump, leap into the unknown, joyfully. Look at that energy. It's so beautiful. And that is a present energy for you, Pisces. Surrender to joy. Surrender to joy. I'm trying to think if I want to do which deck I want to use for you now. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Let's get you an Art Through the Eyes of the Soul. And I've already shuffled all of these. Let's get you an Art Through the Eyes of the Soul. Oh, and then we're going to do a crystal card. That's right. One card, please, for my dear Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. I'm just watching this whole family of birds. Wow, just all of them flying right by the window right now and into the tree. There's got to be like 20 of them. Wow, and there's more coming. Message from Spirit. Family. Family. I'm feeling family for you, Pisces. You're not orphaned, Pisces. You're not orphaned. I really want to say that. You really have people that love you. Really and truly, you have a tribe. Could be about, you know, seeing that there's new people around you even. But you are not orphaned. You're not alone. Okay. Oh, they're backwards. We'll do it that way. Wow, I love this card. Okay. Okay. I know what this message means for you. So, Satana, take action. Okay, this is what happened with this guy. He accidentally killed this wolf. I'm going to read from the book, but I'm going to tell you really quickly. He accidentally had killed this wolf. And he felt so bad about it, and he made reparations. He took action to right his wrongs because he felt so horrible about it. And because he truly took responsibility for his wrongdoing, he was granted this wolf in spirit to be his spirit guide for all of eternity. And he became a really powerful figure. I believe this is in Celtic mythology. Okay. So this painting was done by this author, Cheryl Yambra Rose, The Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. She painted this in 2008. So this is very, very important for this reading. Past mistakes can be corrected. Transmute your history through positive action now. Create a more promising future. This is an Irish hero. The legendary Irish hero, I'm gonna botch this, Cú Chulainn. His original name was Satanta. In self-defense, he killed the Chief Chulainn's favorite guard dog with a hurley ball. In recompense, like, to recompensate, Satanta offered his services. He said, I will offer my services to you, Chief, as a replacement for your dog that I killed. So then he became known as the Cuchulainn, or the Hound of Cullen. In the painting, he has come back as a more evolved hero, an eco-warrior, having made peace with the dog, who is now his shamanic friend and spirit guide. He has returned to protect the ancient center of Tara, as well as the other sacred sites from Needle's destruction and development. He's an eco-warrior. So for some of you Pisces, if you are an eco-warrior of the oceans, just saying because you're connected into the oceans. But what this means to me with regards to this reading is about allowing other people the opportunity to right their wrongs with you, but they're gonna have to do it by sincere action, humbling themselves, and vice versa. If this is about you, any of this past regret that you may have around betrayals, behaviors towards other people, I feel like you really want to make anything that was wrong right, with the justice coming out in the future, and the Five of Swords and the Three of Swords and the Ace of Swords and the Page of Swords and the Six of Swords, like anything that you may have done to not be in this state of emotional excellence, now's the time where if you feel like you can right that wrong, do it. And likewise, if you have people that are going to come back, any of this orphaned energy, any of the harsh words that were said to you, or Night of Inspiration who left you high and dry, make sure that you at least hold the space for them to right the wrong. Don't forget what I said about the boundaries, about setting boundaries. Forgiveness is a process, and we don't have to do it like that. It's not something that in the spiritual community, it's like we're forcing forgiveness on people. You have to forgive, you have to forgive. It's knowing when to forgive. Do it in your own time. But right now, everything just looks so beautiful for you. So let's get you a crystal card and see what crystal energy you can work with this month. What crystals are there to support you? Special crystal card for you. Wow, this is such a powerful reading, Pisces. Lepidolite, this is one of my favorite stones. It likes to come out, maybe because it's one of my favorite stones. So lepidolite for acceptance. And I think that's a really beautiful energy to be carrying with you, because the fact is, Pisces, is that not everybody's going to be as honorable as this gentleman was, right? And I don't want to get your hopes up too much, or have you have a certain expectation that others are going to come back in and behave exactly the way that you want them to behave. And we have to hold space for everybody's process. We have to hold space for everybody being exactly where they're supposed to be on their own journey. And we can't force our will upon other people, and the higher our perspective gets, and the more divine wisdom we kind of download, and then the more acceptance we feel. And this is a Metatron energy. This really and truly is. Lepidolite has a lot of lithium in it. It's a beautiful, beautiful purple stone. It can be deep, deep shades of purple. It's literally like all the colors right behind me. It can be the lighter colors, the darker colors. It has a lot of lithium, so it naturally is a relaxing stone. It's going to calm. It's going to even balance and create a sort of euphoria. It's really, really good for getting into your dream time. Really good for getting into the dreams, meditation, imagination, receiving higher wisdom. It's about allowing divine will to come in, divine timing, and divine order. So if we're feeling like, we're trying to force everything, lepidolite will help you take a step back and surrender. and surrender, and know that in surrendering, you're not giving up, you're not quitting, you know, you're just allowing the divine to do its work. And also knowing that when you are in a state of relaxation and peace, that you are going to attract joy, abundance, clarity, more clarity, reciprocity, harmony, balance in your relationships, in your business dealings, in your partnerships, within yourself. So I think that this is such a great stone for you for the month. And should we do one more crystal card? Let's do one more. I feel like doing one more. Another stone that you can work with, and that's a water element. It helps you go with the flow. It really does help you to go with the divine flow of your life, that water element coming in, right? Okay. One more card for my dear Pisces. I'm hearing that you guys need to get a dream journal. Just this imagine and buy the book. Pisces, some of you could be thinking about writing a book. Just saying. Dream journal. I think you're going to be getting a lot of downloads from your dreams. Pisces, take magnesium at night. If you're not already taking a magnesium supplement, or get a magnesium oil that you can rub on your skin, or a magnesium lotion, take magnesium at night. It's going to help calm you so that you can sleep better. And get a dream journal, or just journal. I think some of you want to write a book. Okay. Oh, this card is so amazing. I was doing a reading for myself the other day, and this came in. I don't have any of this herderite, but it's speaking to just a total evolution. It's a storm card. You see the lightning on the sides. So this is linked into like the tower energy of lightning and storm coming in, and all of this change that you've been going through within your personal life, within your business life, within your spiritual life, within your family, friends, that it's all there for your evolution. Like, you know, this is another sign from Metatron here. You are evolving, Pisces. Look at that. Like, I love this because here's the energy. This is so funny. You see how she's, you know, in the Three of Swords, she's hunched over, she's covering herself, she's just in a state of despair. And you see down here how this first guy is sort of there, and then he gets up. Like I was saying, you just got to get up and walk away from that door. Leave it all at the door. Walk through the lion's gate. And this is saying, like, fly through the lion's gate, you know. Some of you may really be connected into the, you are connected into the angelics. I'm not even going to say some of you. All of you are. All of these 11s and Metatron, and then this herderite coming in with these wings. Like, you are evolving. All of this has been happening for your evolution. Whatever this has all looked like for you, Pisces, it's about your evolution of consciousness. It's about a massive awakening. And I think I will actually just look at the book really quickly. And if you're still with me, you're amazing. I always say this, if you're still with me, you're amazing. And if you're not, that's okay too. Not everybody's gonna resonate with these messages. So this is your crown and your soul heart chakra. And your affirmation, if maybe you want to write this down, I improve myself and my creations to better reflect my spiritual evolution. And now I'm remembering the main message from this. So this is where your spiritual life has been like activated powerfully. The wisdom that you're carrying, this higher perspective that you're carrying, it happened sort of like suddenly for some of you. For others, maybe it's really been a work in progress. This has been happening over several years or your whole life. But for some of you, with that Tower coming in, there was a huge awakening, and it happened rather quickly. So it's all up here, like in the mind and even in the heart to some degree. Like you're like, oh my God, I'm a new person. But your outer world isn't reflecting that yet. So it takes time for the things in the physical. Those pentacles take time to grow. So this is about you're being initiated into an evolution of the mind, body, and spirit. This stone stimulates and activates the brain, but it also acts to vibrationally stimulate the pre-encoded genetic triggers that will initiate us to a new phase of existence. Herderite speaks of evolution in our bodies, our relationships, and our creations. By opening to its vibration, we accept our responsibility to allow deep transformation and emergence into our birthright as human light beings. Part of this collective evolution, very Pisces, the evolution of the collective, 12th house. Part of this collective evolution is our return to our natural state as conscious neurons within the body of the Gaia organism. Humans are the brain cells of this organism within which we live. We're the brain cells of Gaia. That's amazing. When we believe we are separate from the earth and the other organisms around us, we act in ways that are destructive to the earth. That's even talking about, this guy who was the eco warrior. Some of you really could be, environmentalists or stewards of the earth. When we believe we are separate from the earth and other organisms, we act in ways that are destructive to the earth. We're like cancerous cells within the body of Gaia. Well, isn't that the truth? But when we evolve our consciousness and return to our rightful physical role within the whole organism, we act in concert with one another to once again become coherently thinking species that works for the highest good of the entire organism. Okay, so this is what I was saying about when Herderite appears as your ally, you're being asked to evolve your life to better reflect where your growth has brought you. So for some of you, you've done the growing and the expansion, but your actual life just hasn't quite caught up with it yet. So it is about really having that awareness and really maybe making that your priority right now. Evolution is the process of raising your current life and experiences to a higher level. This means looking at what in your present reality requires improvement or change to more closely match where you are vibrating. You're being asked to bump it up a notch and put effort into improving yourself and all aspects of your reality. That's amazing. As with any storm element card, Herderite heralds a time of great change. Herderite is telling you that this change is directed by the thoughts and actions you choose to take. All of these thoughts, that's why you're giving up this 3 of Swords, 5 of Swords, mental patterns, ego, and it is about taking the action. If there's wrongs to be made right, if there's more change, then you can do it. Imagine it, do it, You know in your heart which parts of your life need renewal and which need to be completely released. 9 of Cups, Knight of Cups. The actions that you take to improve and evolve your life will cause ripples, ripples in the entire fabric of humanity, moving the evolution of us all forward a step. This is such a Piscean energy here because you are so aware of the collective, being a Pisces, And I feel like this is like really reiterating your role within the collective and how important each and every one of us is, how important my healing journey is, your healing journey, that when I heal something, it creates a ripple in the collective that helps everybody else. So if this is about being like a steward of the earth, a steward to humanity, a steward to Gaia, that any healing that you do really is helping to heal the other parts. The Pisces is the whole, it's the collective. So this is really, really beautiful. Remember, you know, to surrender to divine will and divine order and go with the flow, but also take that inspired, divinely guided action when needed. These are beautiful energies for you, Pisces. I absolutely love it so, so much. We're gonna end it here. I went really long again, as always. Yeah, so I thank you so much for being here. If this did resonate, if you want to leave me a comment or send me a private message, you could do that as well. I'd really appreciate it. I hope that you have an amazing rest of the month of August and really, really just enjoy this current energy that you're in, all of this beautiful, bright energy that you're in, Pisces. And I will see you all again next month. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.